Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala syarafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, we are continuing our series on free life coach training program for us to train you. So whether you are a student in the university, or you are a retiree or activist in the mosque or NGO, we encourage you to take this certification, which is free of charge. All online, is quite easily done. Go to our website islamic-psychology.net, register there, and inshallah you will be able to download our book, Positive Islamic Psychology, a Transcendent Model to Achieve Peace, Happiness and Success, the full e-book, this full book we are giving, plus other material and all the PowerPoint presentation that we are developing for our life coach training program. As I mentioned earlier, this life coach training program is inshallah to transform the approach in which we coach and counsel, especially our new generation, the youth of Islam all over the world, facing the realities of the 21st and 22nd century, and creating an approach that is compatible with the need of the 21st century, based on love, care, share, compassion, mercy, so that we can then groom them to become wonderful citizens of this world, to achieve the best, fulfill the best in this world and the hereafter. So I have given to you some ideas in which what is we have understood about contemporary science. There are many example contemporary science in which, based on the latest research in terms of cosmology, in terms of neurology, in terms of quantum physics, in terms of genome, genetic understanding of our genomes and so on, all points to there is a creator. It is not by chance, it is not by randomness of just a throw of a dice, which is impossible. And this is getting more and more accepted by the scientific worldview. So we are seeing a shift from those who are totally atheistic to those who are saying now there is something more than just that. So a lot of them are already embracing panpsychism. Panpsychism is that there is consciousness, that consciousness created everything, but they will not use the word God. So it is, everything is conscious. The stone is conscious, the electron is conscious, human being is conscious, the animal is conscious. So it's a total sum of consciousness under panpsychism, which is altogether co-creating whatever that they exist in this world. So that in that sense, they are coming closer to Islam, because in Islam we have Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which I explained. So what is important is that we must understand why this universe exists. Because if we can first understand why this universe exists, the next question is, we also have to ask ourselves, why do we exist on this earth? Why not? We are not here. So this is the existential question that every one of us will have to face, and deep in our inner core of our being, this has to be resolved, for us to find peace and happiness in this world and also in the hereafter. So in the Islamic theological perspective, Allah has created many universes. So we have in Al-Quran, Allah tells us, the seven heavens and the earth and whatever is between them exalt Him. There's not a thing except that they exalt Allah by His praise. But you do not understand their exalting. Indeed, He is ever forbearing and most forgiving. So this is where Allah tells us in Al-Quran, Surah 17 verse 44, that He's not only created this universe, He created maybe other universes. But from the Islamic perspective, we have the realm of the physical, we have the realm of the spiritual, we have the realm of the angelic, we have the realm of the evil, and all these are dimensions within a scheme of existence which is modeled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by God. He is the one who created, and He is the one who gives us the revelation in the Quran of what are the schema of this existence, and it is profoundly, beautifully described in Islam, not in any other earlier philosophies, because Islam is a closing gate of the nature of revelation from God to us. So we may have some inkling of it in other religion, whether it's in Hinduism or Buddhism, but they are just piecemeal. In Islam, we have the whole package, and only when you understand the whole package, you know the beauty of this deen. So Some cosmologists are saying, okay, there are more than one dimensions here, multiverse. For example, like Alan Gauth, Alexander Van Lenkin, and the rest. And in Islam, we understand that the first principle of belief is Tawheed. So Allah is the one. So that's why we have the Surah Ikhlas. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahus samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Say, He is God, the one and only, the absolute. He begat not, nor was He begotten, and there's none comparable unto Him. So this is the fundamental principle of the oneness of Allah. From then he manifested His creative capability. So He created the universe, He created us, He created all the dimensions that we have mentioned. And each and every one of these has a purpose and meaning in which we are open, we are told to explore and understand. So in the Quran also, in verse 98, in Surah 98 verse 5, and they were commanded not, but they should worship God and worship none but Him, and perform prayer and observe almsgiving, and that is the right religion. Alright? So Allah tells us about how we are going to practice the praise of Allah and the worship of Allah through the right religion, which is Dinul Hanif or Dinul Islam. So what is important is how are we going to overcome all these challenges in terms of the youth with problems as they face this world. These are issues in which without religion our youth will have no purpose and no meaning in life, and when they have no purpose and no meaning in life, they cannot go through smoothly this life. So they muddle through, and when they muddle through, they will go into a lot of obstacles, a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges, a lot of hardship, and that's why you have very high level of stress, very high level of depression, very high level of suicidal ideation and so on all over the world now, because our brain, the system that Allah has given us in terms of the brain is connected to the spiritual world. So our brain is connected to consciousness. There is consciousness both in the conscious and the subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind is then linked to the higher consciousness. So whether you call the higher consciousness God or higher consciousness or the divine matrix or whatever, there's so many fancy names nowadays, but ultimately you have come to the conclusion that is one creator, one God who created everything into being, and He is the Lord of the universe. He is the one who is the beneficent, the merciful, the compassionate, the forgiving, Ghafurul Wadud, the forgiving, the loving, the caring. So from then we understand this nature of life, where this deen brings us about to be able to go through life in whether it is in pain or suffering, or whether in joy or happiness, in a way that is very, very balanced. Because our life on this earth, there will be a lot of challenges, there will be a lot of problems, but each and every of these challenges and problems, Allah does not burden more than what we can handle. So He has given us a way forward, and that way forward is for us to submit to Him and rely on Him to resolve all our problems through programming or through nurturing our mind to be a mind that is consonant with the will of Allah. And this is where Islam is all about, because we surrender. Islam is what? Surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following His will, going about in life, trying to make the best out of this life, because we know that this life is just a temporary phase of only about maybe 60, 70 or 100 years. Beyond this physical plane, we have a spiritual existence which will give us the fullness of joy and happiness, and that can only come about if we understand the purpose and meaning of our life, to know that we are the servant and slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are His Khalifa to express our full potential, to achieve the best for ourselves, making ourselves good, helping others to be good, and making the world good, inshallah.